Hello, my name is Saf, and this is your full moon in Aries tarot card reading for, what's the day? September 24th of 2018. I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm doing something a little different, and it comes with a little bit of a story. So going back to the reading I did before, the new moon in Virgo, there's a kind of merging here that's happening of the earth energy and the fire energy. And every single reading I've given, it seems to indicate to me that these full and new moons are always building on each other, and I'm beginning to see exactly how they build on each other and why it's important to look back on the new moon when we're here in the full moon, because that's when the seeds are planted. So my downloads for the day on how the Virgo and the Aries energy really connect is it's that mental clarity I was telling you about that we were looking for when the new moon was in Virgo. Looking to heal our mental space, our crown chakra. I recently picked up this Lumerian crystal for that. It helps me a lot. My crystals really help me. And something that cemented this idea even further for me was I went to an event for magic cards. I'm getting into this amazing game right now. Really getting in touch with my inner nerd, and I wanted to share some of that experience with you, because to me everything is a tarot card. This is what I emphasize upon in all of my Instagram posts and everything, about how real life events echo the archetypes in the tarot and in astrology and everything, and that's the whole point of why we give these readings. So I picked up a pretty special card that kind of signifies the blending of these energies, because in the last reading, I don't know if you remember or watched that reading. If not, you should totally go back and watch it, because these energies still apply. I pulled both the Emperor and the Knight of Swords, which was really telling me, like, okay, this new moon is preparing us for this full moon. So the card that I got at this Magic the Gathering open house, his name is Boros Challenger. Like, that's a super Aries card, but this is like a it's actually like a blend of, like, I think that's like a neutral and fire, or perhaps wind and fire. I'm still getting to know these, but what this card does is it has a mentor ability, so it puts a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser powers. So it's when you attack with multiple creatures, this character helps other characters who aren't as strong in the game. So that's a really good card to have. I don't know if you play the game or not watching this, but if you do, then you'll be excited to know that I'm actually going to be pulling a card from my green deck, and using it as a tarot card, just to give you another example of how we can really use any kind of card as a tarot card. But I also decided that this would be the perfect full moon to read from my Lord of the Rings tarot deck, which is also an epic story about adventure and fighting and all different types of Aries things. I am also an Aries myself, and that is why I am super excited to give you this reading. But before I get into it, I just want to say that I already feel like I know what the main theme of this reading is, and that is patience. How can we be more patient? How can we have discernment, with still having the ability to go out and do and act, do the things that we need to do. And I guess this is about teaching and learning too. So I want to go off of those themes and use this card as kind of a signifier of that sort of that mental clarity, that wind energy being accompanied by that passion and that fire energy, and what that means for us right now. So since we're on that topic, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull another magic card. I want to see what messages this deck has for us. This non-tarot deck has a magic of its own. Ooh, that's a beastie right there. So it says, play with the top card of your library revealed. This to me, well, first of all, it's Garrick's Horde. Bam. This creature is a beast. And it's a 7/7. So this tells me that this energy is strong. The energies of this full moon are very strong, and they want us to play, they want us to sort of reveal ourselves in a way. And this card also has trample, which means it can't be stopped. Whatever you're doing in life right now, it's a good energy. It's a good, I guess it's a good time to tackle something that you've really been wanting to. You've been really wanting to do. It also says you may cast the top card of your library if it's a creature card. So we're working with that creature energy, with that primal energy. So you're working with your primal energy in this kind of like mentoring kind of way, if that makes sense. So your mentoring abilities make others stronger. Learning from others makes you stronger as a creature, as a primal force. It's about honing that primal force, and apparently there's a lot of it for this full moon. So now on to the Lord of the Rings. So Page of Wands. And I'm only going to pull a few cards from this deck because, time. But Radagast the Brown brings a message of great importance to Gandalf. So traditionally in tarot, the pages are all about newness, and I've been getting messages about that too, that these new messages need to come in. So unblocking the channels, allowing messages to be received. So we can use our gemstone friends for this, but this is also about being able to synthesize and bring maturity to that message. So there's a lot of raw energy in these cards that I'm pulling right now that show that just has a need for mentorship, because Gandalf, this card mentions Gandalf, and I feel like that he's very much a mentoring figure in this. So I think this has been a big theme recently, is looking to others to sort of like boost your abilities where they need boosting, and learn from people where you need to learn from, and doing that same thing to others, so that we feel like we're not meant to know everything in this life. We're not meant to have every single answer. So if you're out there in your channel like me and you're giving messages to people, don't feel the need to just be right all the time, because this is something I've been seeing in the spiritual community, is that I feel like these clairvoyants and stuff, they get channeled messages and they need to be able to predict events and stuff like that. And I think that that is kind of dangerous, actually, because we're manifesting. I don't necessarily think prediction is very useful anymore, because we're manifesting so much from our emotions. And so we don't want to feed into hysteria and fear and all this other kind of stuff that's just that's from that primal raw energy of like survival. So like we don't, so like trample in some contexts is a good thing, but it's obviously not good if you're the one being trampled, right? So that energy of just it's just like a forceful energy. So anything that's like a forceful energy, I feel like that needs to be tempered right now, so that we can experience this sort of like what the true point of everything is in the spiritual awakening, which isn't necessarily this this like spiritual war that's going on. So this card just came out, and I wanted to talk about it because I was sort of like building up to that. The purpose of the spiritual community is to be like a home for those who have previously stood out, felt like an alien, felt like a creature, felt, you know, sort of like fiercely independent. I don't need anybody. That's like an Aries kind of energy. That's a fire kind of energy, especially Aries. It's the energy of independence and not needing anyone. But the next new moon is probably going to be in Libra, if I'm right, because the last full moon was in Pisces and the next new moon was in Virgo. So if this full moon is in Aries, then the next new moon is going to be in Libra. So Libra is actually about getting together on an intimate level with other people, and that's what the Ten of Cups feeling really is all about. And this card says, their commitments fulfilled, the companions sail across the great sea to the western blessed realm. Círdan remains in Middle Earth. So yeah, these cards have a definite slight melancholy feel to the whole thing. I guess it's kind of a melancholy story overall, is because there's always some crazy shit going on in this epic battle between good and evil. And if we're gonna really be honest, you know, that's kind of how the real world is, you know. And the spiritual community has like a tendency to either bypass all of that or to hyper focus on it, like hyper focusing on you know, the sort of like the victim role here. So we have the Ten of Wands, and it's sort of like it's a parallel. Anytime we get two of one thing, it's a parallel. So it's saying Sam carries Frodo up the side of Mount Doom towards where they can cast the ring. The burden will soon be lifted from Sam's shoulders. So this card is it's kind of about that burden, the spiritual mission. We feel like we need this mission. We need to fulfill this mission as like light workers or spiritual people, and it's sort of like a savior complex. It's like, so we need to be heroes. In order for us to be heroes, somebody has to be a victim. And the need to be a hero is like it's like the shadow side of the mentor. The mentor, dang, I just had a card there that wanted to come out, but we'll see if it pops out again, because I'm going to draw one more card for this reading, and I wanted to really sort of tie everything. I want to feel like it's really the card. So in closing, we have another page. This page is the Page of Swords. Denethor talks with Pippin about his hopes and dreams. So in this mentorship, okay, we're really sussing out what are our hopes and dreams. It's less about trying to discover what our mission is and what our burden is. It's more about, what do we hope for the future? What do we want to see for the future? And that is what we should be seeking our mentorship around, is trying to find these deeper desires within ourselves. And that is the message of importance that we need to receive. And it comes from this primal energy. And when we discover that, there is nothing that can stop us. Mwah. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good